Wanted to make a video talking about a segment on Fox News where they showed Bernie Sanders, and as Bernie Sanders was greeting constituents, there was a baby crying, and he said something along the lines of like, "Can we keep it down?" And Fox News chose to spend a significant amount of time on this, which begs the question: why don't they talk of Bernie's actual message? Why don't they talk about his policy proposals? Could it be because their funders don't want the audience to be exposed to those types of messages? They don't want the audience to be exposed to ideas like Medicare for all and the fact that wealth inequality has been growing and the middle class has been shrinking in the country. Let's go ahead and watch that clip from Fox News.
No balling for Bernie. The 2020 hopeful tells a crying baby to pipe down on the campaign trail. Watch this.
Did I hear you correctly say that you have to cut your pills in half for your son? Okay. Okay. If we could keep that down a little bit. Okay. Thanks.
Senator,
quiet down, kid.
Oh boy, Senator Sanders shot it.
Anyway.
He was in Epsom, New Hampshire,
right.
And he is a politician that is not afraid to be himself.
Turns out Bernie Sanders is the baby whisperer. If elected president, he can actually quiet screaming
Wait, aren't they
kids.
supposed to be kissing the babies, not telling them to be quiet?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Quiet
He's unique
down.
in that regard.
Quiet down. I'm saying the same thing over and over again. Please.
That's the soundbite of the day, right?
All right.
It is.
No, it's just like Bernie lays out in his book, Our Revolution. The media, they report on the most trivial matters. They report on sports. They report on just like fun, weird, goofy things. They don't report on actual policy. They don't report on the fact that the trade deals of the last couple decades has been destroying the middle class. They don't report on the fact that media companies are owned by the billionaire class, and the fact that 90% of the media companies are owned by 6 corporations. They don't report on the fact that you have thousands of people dying every day. You have people dying all the time because they aren't able to afford healthcare in the United States. They don't report on the fact that you have corporations dodging taxes, creating tax havens in all kinds of foreign countries and islands. They don't report on the fact that we have private prisons that make a profit off of incarcerating people, and that we have more prisoners than totalitarian countries like China and Saudi Arabia and Russia do. They don't report on a lot of these issues because it's not in the interest of the owners. Instead, they report on Bernie Sanders asking someone to quiet their baby down at his town hall. To be honest, that's really not that ridiculous of a request when you have people there trying to listen to what he's saying, and you have someone bringing their crying baby. I don't know why you would bring a crying baby to a town hall. Maybe you don't have anyone that can babysit it. Maybe you want to hear Bernie Sanders talk. That's fair, but that's not a ridiculous request for him to ask someone to try and keep their babies crying at a minimum. Again, just an example of some of our ridiculous media and them reporting on things that the majority of people don't really care about, and doesn't really affect the majority of people. Why would Fox News report on Bernie asking someone to quiet a baby instead of reporting on what he's saying about policy? Because what Bernie says is powerful. It's true. He's done his research, and it is a huge threat to the billionaire class. So what they do is they do everything they can to discredit Bernie while never actually playing clips of him explaining his message. That's the strategy of a lot of right-wing news media outlets. That's definitely the strategy of Fox News.